Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video should hopefully be quite a fun one. I've kind of had this idea for a while. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to do quite a bold-ish look today. So today I want to start a new series and I want it to be like a wearable versus editorial looks. I really love editorial, like fashion, avant-garde type looks, and I really want to push myself creatively and see what I can do. And I thought it might be quite fun if I took a palette and try and create a, well, obviously create a wearable look and then use it with the same kind of colours and create an editorial, more fashion based look, something that's a bit less wearable. I have had a look on YouTube so far and I typed in wearable versus editorial makeup looks, and I haven't really seen this. I've seen kind of like wearable editorial looks, so people make it a bit more wearable. I've seen, there was someone called Pamela, I just wanted to check, Pamela Segura, might be pronouncing her surname wrong, who's done Instagram versus editorial look. And I know a lot of people have done wearable versus Instagram looks, but not really wearable versus editorial looks. But if you know someone that has done this, please let me know so I can credit them in the description box and stuff like that. Yeah, so I had in mind, I really wanted to do a berry inspired look. I had to think about the editorial look that I wanted to do first, kind of in my head, but before going with the wearable looks. It's slightly easier that way. So I really want to go berry toned. I want to go quite vampy in terms of the editorial look. Maybe bring the whole like shadows round the cheek and that C shape, like something like that. So I was going through the palettes because, like I said, I really want to go berry toned in this video. I did think about purple, but I've done a purple look recently. And I was trying to find a palette where I can use just that one palette. I kind of went through a few. I found this one. This was the MUA 5XM, but it's a bit too pinky toned. The first palette I thought of was the Barry M Fall in Love 2 palette, but it's only actually got 2 berry tone shades in there. I need some darker shades to work with it and a few more tones. But if you, I also thought about the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, but it's a bit more pinky than berry. But I think the palette I'm going for today is this one here, because it's got a lot of these berry tones, a mixture of the dark as well and some shimmers that really help me complete the look I want to go for. So this is the Makeup Revolution with the Imagination palette. So yeah, so these shades is what I was thinking of, these kind of berry tones. They're quite deep, which is kind of what I want. So enough rambling, I'm going to crack on with this video, so I really hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start with the face portion first. I'm going to keep it quite light and fresh on the base, I think. So I'm going to go in with the Hint Beauty concealer first and use this to conceal any areas that need concealing. So I'm going to take it under my eyes and obviously on my blemishes and stuff. So I'm going to pick it up on my Real Techniques concealer brush, pop these in the areas. Before I powder and set everything in place, I'm going to go in with a cream highlighter first. This is the Vapor Organics Halo Illuminator in Moonlight. I have not used this in a while, but it's a nice kind of pinky toned highlighter. And I think I'm going to go kind of, I'm not going to use bronzer today, I don't think. I'm going to go with blusher and keep it all quite neutral and pink toned on the face. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in all my usual areas. Also going to pop a little bit under the brow bone as well. In with a beauty blender and then just make sure, actually it's not a beauty blender but a sponge, and make sure that's nice and blended in. Okay, now that's all blended in and my skin's looking lovely and glowy. I'm going to go ahead and set the concealer areas and just the centre of my face where I get a bit oily. So I'm, as always, going to use the Innica Baked foundation to set it. I'm going to take it on my brush, and I don't want to pick up too much. I want to still keep the skin quite light. But like I said, just set the areas that are necessary. Okay, and then like I said, I'm going to go with some blusher. I'm going to take the Nip+Fab blusher palette in 01. I think I'm going to take this one down here, which is either the shade Velvet or Whisper. I'm never sure how the names on the back correlate to the names on the palette. So either Velvet or Whisper is this one here. And take this on my Luxie 504 as always. Pick some up. Oh, and thank you for all your blusher suggestions on my last video. I'm definitely going to be checking a whole bunch of those out. So I'm going to take this. As you know, I like quite heavy blush. And especially as I'm not going bronzer today, I think this will be perfect. It's a really pretty blush, and you can still see that highlighter through it as well. And what I like to do, as you know, is any excess I'll just bring around a little bit on the forehead. It just helps add that little bit extra definition to the skin. Okay, moving on to the brows. I'm taking my Avada Transparent Brow Gel first, and use this as always to kind of sculpt my brows out, ready for the brow powder. And then the Lily Lolo Eyebrow Duo in dark. I'm taking it on a Luxie 215 small angle brush. And then just fill in my brows. I'm actually going to go quite lightly with my brows today, for this first look anyway, just so you can really see the contrast from this wearable look to the editorial. I won't always do this, but I'm just going to go in, and like I said, lightly fill. I always find it so much easier to do my brows if I do the gel first. It just really helps kind of set everything in place. It helps you kind of see where needs filling in a lot easier and better, and it then means it takes no time at all for me to go ahead and just fill in my brows. I'm not gonna lie, I know some people love doing their brows and carving them out, but if I could spend less time on my brows, like the less time I can spend on my brows the better. It's not my favourite application thing to do, I have to be completely honest. I mean, I think brows definitely make a look, because I think they help shape your eyes, frame them. But yeah, I just don't like spending, I know some people like to spend lots of time. I would rather spend a lot less time on my brows and kind of focus on like eyeshadows or something fun like that. So that's just kind of like personal preference. Okay, so moving on to the eye portion, which I guess is the kind of the main portion of this video. So I'm going to go with my Lily Lolo eye primer first to prep my eyes as always. I won't bring it quite as high up. I'll put this mainly onto the lid and a little bit in the crease, because obviously I put that cream highlighter on my brow bone, so I kind of want to avoid that area. Look, so I'm going to go in with Pinky Promise first, this shade just here, on my Luxie 205 tapered blending brush. And this is going to go through that crease section. So I'm going to first of all take it into the centre portion, and then slowly buff out to the inner and outer portions. I might try and keep this quite a rounded eye look, which might be quite difficult for me because I always like to wing out my eyeshadow, but I might just see if I can keep it rounded today. So I'm going to really build up this colour. Now, like I said, sometimes these might be quite soft wearable looks, sometimes I might do a full-on glam wearable look, or even could be a colourful wearable look, as long as it's kind of wearable. And then, like I said, try and use the same colours for when it comes to the editorial version, just so you can see the before, the wearable versus the editorial side. Okay, I'm going to go slightly smaller brush. This is the Sigma E25, and I'm going to go in with the shade Trying It next. And again, this is going to go through the crease, but I'm going to focus this mainly on the outer portion of the crease. Go back in with Pinky Promise, that first shade, and just go over that just to make sure that it is nice and blended. Like I said, I really wanted to do a berry inspired kind of look for both, which is why I picked this palette. But if there is a palette that you'd really like to see me do a wearable versus editorial look from, do let me know. Like I said, it could be a neutrals palette, you could do bolds, it could be colourful for both looks. Or if there's an editorial look or fashion avant-garde type look you've seen that you really like the look of, that you want me to try and recreate, I can definitely do that and then use the colours from the editorial look and create a wearable look as well. Because like I said, I do want to wear the same colours for both wearable and editorial looks, just to make them kind of link together in a way. A Real Technique shading brush, I'm going to take the beautiful Berry Blast shade just here. And this one is going to be packed onto this outer portion here. I'm going to bring it kind of 2/3 the way in. Berry Blast is definitely one of my favourite colours from this palette for sure. Back in with the shade Trying It, which is the second shade, and just make sure the edges are blended. Now, I think I do want to add a pop of shimmer in the inner corner, so I'm going to take a flat brush. This is just one that I got from Superdrug. Go back in with my eyeshadow primer. I'm not going to cut the crease or anything like that, but I just want to lay a bit more primer down the inner corner, just so that when I pop a shimmer on top, it just sticks a bit more and just kind of emphasises a bit more. And then I'm going to take the shade Forever Friend, which is a beautiful baby pink shade, shimmer shade. I'm going to use the exact same brush I used for that primer. Just pop that on the inner portion. Over that, just to make sure those two colours are blended nicely together. And then I'm just going to take some of Trying It, this shade here that we used before, this time on a Sigma E45, and take a little bit of this and just run it along the lower lash line. I'm not going to go anything crazy on the lower lash line. Then actually I'm going to take a bit more Forever Friend on my little finger and just make sure it's popped right in the inner corner. Actually I'm going to do one more thing, and I'm going to take some of Limo, the black shade in this palette, on my little Kiko pencil brush and just run this along the upper lash line, focusing mainly on the outer portion. I like doing that sometimes because I think it helps frame the eyes. You know what, actually whatever's left on that pencil brush, I'm just going to a little bit take it on the outer portion here, but very slightly. And again, go in and make sure it's blended. Then I'm going with mascara. I'm taking the Rebel Eyes mascara from Gosh and giving my upper lower lashes a good couple of coats. Okay, and then to finish off this wearable look, I'm going to go in with some lips. I'm going to go quite neutral, I think. So the Benecos Natural Lip Liner in the shade Brown. Go in with the Kiko Smart Fusion lipstick in 401. It's just quite a very nude lipstick. It's quite a moisturising one. So give a nice kind of glossy finish to the lips as well. Okay, so this is the wearable portion done. It's a very lovely berry toned makeup look. Kind of a little bit on the glam side, but I kept it quite light with the skin and stuff like that. So I really hope you have enjoyed this look. And now I'm going to transform it into the editorial version of this look. Okay, so on to the editorial portion. This won't take as long as the first look because obviously I've got the base down, and like I said, in future videos I might not always do it this way. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Like I said, I've got an idea in mind of kind of how I want to do this, or kind of the look I want to achieve. I'm going to start off with the shade Trying It here, and I'm taking this on a Luxie 231. And I'm going to start, I'm not going to go in, I'm going to the crease, but the inner portion of the crease. And I'm just going to start building this up and kind of bring it up to the brow bone, up to the brow. And almost in quite a harsh, not a harsh line, but you can see where I bring it straight up. I'm not going to necessarily blend out this section out this way because I want it to be a relatively kind of distinctive line going up and bring it kind of into the brow portion. So for this look I'm starting with the eyes obviously. And I really want to focus and darken up this colour. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep building this up. And start to blend it towards the outer portion of kind of this upper eye section. Like I said, I'm not blending anywhere near this way. I want it to be quite a harsh, distinct line. Keep building this up, keeping this bit really quite dark, and then diffusing this section so it's slightly lighter. I'm taking it a little bit through the brows as well, just to kind of all flow together. Right, now I'm going to keep with that shade and just bring it along this brow bone here. And I'm going to slightly go up and wing it out now. So for this look I will wing it out. You know what, no, I like it how it is there. You know what, I'm going to change my mind with that one. I'm going to get rid of that. Right, I'm actually going to take some of Raise and Praise now. This one here. I'm going to go over where I'd put that light shimmer shade because I want this inner portion to be quite dark. To kind of match. I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of limo, but I mean like dab that in. And I want to focus this just a little bit right here. And take a bit of Berry Blast and just warm it up slightly as well. I'm going to take some limo again now, and this time I'm going to focus this but on the outer portion of the lower lash line. So I want to kind of do it like opposite, so have the upper section darker in the inner corner and the lower section have it dark on the outer corner. I'm doing a bit more trying it just in this inner corner. I'm slightly regretting adding that little bit of black now. And then I'm going to go in with Berry Blast, sorry, on my shading brush and go over the black to add that purple back in, that berry tone back in. Okay, then I'm going to add some black eyeliner to the waterline. I'm going to take the Nabla Velvet Line eyeliner in Bombay Black. And tight line as well. Okay, I'm going to go with some more mascara. I'm going to really load up my lashes this time. Really just go for it. Okay, I'm then going to go in with the Gosh Brow Sculpting Fibre Gel in, what have I got it in? Chestnut. So it's like a just coloured brow gel, which I actually really like, but it's just very messy. You have to wipe off a lot of the thing. I'm going to go through the brows again, and I really want the individual hairs to stand out this time, and I'm going to kind of have them all, I guess, sticking upwards in a way, especially at the front of the brow, just to make it a little bit more dramatic. And it just really lifts the front bit of the brow and just really helps emphasise that kind of eyeshadow I've put there. Before I do anything with blusher, because I want to go quite extreme, I'm just going to take some more of my concealer and I just want to tidy up in some areas. So in between my brows, I feel like I've got some eyeshadow that's kind of gone a bit rogue here. Okay, that was way too much concealer. Just to kind of fix that out. Now obviously the beauty with like the more editorial fashion looks, avant-garde, not everything has to be perfectly blended. I really love seeing like the pop of like those beautiful shimmery pigments that goes across the lid in like a graphic thick way without being blended, which I think is quite good. And I think these kind of looks gives you more room to experiment. They're not meant to be necessarily wearable, which you can see this isn't. It's quite dark in the inner corner and stuff. I'm going to do a bit more in a second. But it's just a lot of fun, so I'm hoping this you're enjoying this so far. And yeah. So I need to do something with the kind of cheek area, like I said. So I need a fluffy brush. I'm going to go with an eyeshadow brush. This is my 100% Pure E. The fluffy brush. I can't think the numbers rubbed off, so I don't know. And I'm going to go in with Berry Blast. And this could swear it could go slightly wrong. Start in circular motions, blending this out from the eye. Okay, so I just had to take it off because it was kind of going a bit patchy, but I think it's because I didn't set this area of my face. So I'm going to go in with the Inica Baked Foundation and just really, I'm going to take it on quite a dense brush and just really make sure this area is set, just so that the eyeshadow can glide a bit better over the top. What I do first is go in with a blusher. Actually go back in with some blusher from this palette and kind of really build this up, and then go in with a Berry Blast just to go over it, just to see if that blends a bit better. I'm just sort of trying to determine which colour's probably going to be best. I'm going to go with that same colour I used before, either Whisper or Velvet. I think this might work quite nicely. It might just help the rest kind of glide a bit nicer over the top. Maybe I'll use a fluffy brush on the eyeshadow as well. So let's just pop this here. So I've gone very heavy. So I'm bringing the blusher quite high up, close to my eye on the kind of outer portion section, and just bringing it around the eye so it kind of like frames this section. So now I'm going to go with Berry Blast. I'm just going to try and use the brush and just dip into there if I can, because I think this might work better, this type of brush. And then I'm going to start right at the back here. And then blend it out. And I just think it might blend a little bit better over the skin this way here. You know, I'm going to go with trying it, this one here, because I want it slightly darker than that. I feel like I need to contour my nose, but I don't necessarily want to go with a pink shade, so I'm actually just going to go into this palette, the Imagination one, go in with a shade probably Oaky, just do a little bit of contour. I just feel like it needs something there on the nose. But just, I'm kind of connecting it to what I've done up here. And just go over with the brush I used for the Inica Baked Foundation. Just make sure that is blended. Okay, moving on to lips. I might do a bit more of the eyes. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to go too crazy. So I'm going to go quite dark with the lips, quite vampy. So I'm going to take the Barry lip liner in. This doesn't have a name. I'm pretty sure it's number 11. Just a nice purple. I'm going to keep the lipstick I had on before. It's just going to stay there, it's fine. Then I'm going to go in the Divina Organics lipstick in number 31. This is the sample that I got sent through. Obviously take this on a lip brush, just recoat the lip brush. So I want to actually keep the lips glossy still. It's quite a nice one to do. I think I'm just going to mix a little bit of the Divina Organics lipstick in number 28, because this one's a bit more ready tone. I just want to bring a bit of the readiness back with the lips, I think. I'm going to go back in with a bit more trying it, and I'll just go a bit heavier on this inner corner actually. Now that I've got the lip on, I feel I can get away with being a bit more heavier in this inner corner section. And go back in with a bit more limo right on this lower portion. Portion up here as well. So this is the editorial portion done. I had a few issues along the way, as you would have seen, but I actually quite like how it turned out. It is quite bold. I mean, I've seen more dramatic editorial fashion based looks, and I've also seen a lot less dramatic kind of editorial fashion based looks. I just knew I wanted to go berry tone, and I knew I really wanted to go quite dark in this inner corner here. That took a lot of playing around with. I really wish I hadn't added that black. I think the purples and the berries made it better and less... It still gave the drama without it looking a bit too harsh. And yeah, I managed to fix the blusher situation out as well. But I actually really like how this editorial look turned out. Like I said, I wanted to push myself, do something a bit more creative occasionally. Stuff that maybe, yeah, I just really wanted to have fun and see what I could do. So if you really, I really hope you enjoy this kind of wearable versus editorial look. I definitely would like to continue doing this series. I think it would be a lot of fun and just really test my makeup skills in a way. So yeah, if you do like this, please let me know down below. And like I said, if there's a palette that you really want me to do a wearable versus editorial look from, then let me know. It could be one that I already have that you know I've got, or if it's a palette I haven't got that you kind of want to see me use, then still leave it down below and I'll see what I can do with that. Or similarly, if you've seen like an editorial fashion based look that you really like the look of, let me know, post them to me. I'll leave my Instagram account down below, so you can send me those pictures, and then I can always do a wearable look based off the editorial look, kind of using the same colours. Or yeah, just let me know your thoughts down below. I really hope you have enjoyed this look. I've really wanted to do this series for a while and just test myself. I'll do this series like this once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on how well you guys like. So yeah, leave me your feedback down below. I really hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.